Hello, my name is Elvin Gomez, and we are the group number 11. And we are going to talk about the next question. Is it right for teachers and students to be friends on social networks such as Facebook? Social networks. Social networking is the use of internet-based social media sites to stay connected with friends, family, colleges, customers, or clients. Social networking can have a social purpose, a business purpose, or both through sites such as Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram, among others.
Hi, my name is Andrea. And is it writing for teacher and student to be friends on social networks such as Facebook? Sure, student and teacher interact on social networks. There is answer to this question is near simple nor category. There are complex technical and technology needs that must be weighed.
Hello, everyone. My name is Catherine Suarez, and I'm going to talk about social networks as an educational tool. Social networks are currently part of our life, and we are continually making use of them. When we talk about social networks, we associate it with leisure and fun, but we always forget the educational field. Science is true that they are not used at school. For this reason, it is important that in educational centers, they are not in use in such a way that students can benefit from them for their studies and personal development. Below, I detail the benefits and positive aspects of the use of social networks in current education. And number one, um, improves education inside and outside the classroom. Social networks are perfect for communication between students and teachers to flow. Young people, being so familiar with them, uh, will feel more comfortable and less obliged to have a closer relationship with their teacher, and also everything will flow more naturally. Number two, groups to carry up work and resolve doubts. The good thing about social networks as developed as Facebook and WhatsApp, for example, that allow you to create private group for each class or each subject, which makes it easier for students to solve their doubts through the networks. And number three, establish personal relationships between students. Social networks are based on personal relationships and are the current way of transmitting the personal to others, something that acquires special relevance among students. For this reason, networks are very important so that teachers know a little more about the concern of their students and know how to act in case of any problem or need. Of course, and networks, in order to be an effective tool in the classroom, have to have a certain degree of control and responsibility of the part above students and teachers. Undoubtedly, social networks are a magnificent opportunity for learning, education, and professional development of students, as well as a place for the exchange of experience. Um, and to conclude, I think and I agree that students and teachers um, can be friends on social networks to have communication in the educational field, taking into account that social networks are communication tools and education is basically done through communication. And so that's where we can get hooked. Social networks are not only used to chat, see photos, and or put friends and family in contact. The professional use of social networks are more and more numerous, and there are many work groups and more who communicated through a social network. Thank you.
Okay, arguments in favor that are usually included. They can be a very good tool for sharing educational resources. These restrictions may call into question the principles of freedom of expression and free association. Teachers are not usually a threat to children, but a good influence and can use digital relationships with their students to monitor and with their behavior in cyberspace. Any law or rule that is imposed will always be very difficult to enforce.
Some of the most common arguments against are the teacher-student relationships should never be on of very. Social networks promise the ideal that the social equivalence there is exists. To is dissenting effective. Social networks have descendants to generalities, relationships of an inappropriate nature. Resting this case of relationships will alert children to the dangers they face online. Acknowledging of the part of a student about the person life of their teacher can dimmer their academic authority. The fear of negative sides of the communication through the social media and possibilities of sexual harassment. In August 28, 2011, is Missouri guns either affection and law now as the Amy Hasty Student Protection Act, which prohibits teachers from communicating with students in social networks and entering to friends either their ration author. His iteration was conditional by the agency of legal terms to protect children from possibilities abuse of on part of teacher, including censure harassment. The other person included the social media takes over the teacher personal times after time and 8 of the day. Possibility of using while writing and statements that are taken from the general context in order to determine often the teacher. In my opinion, we can be friends on paper with or teacher, both that depend on manager. Um, follow the picture.
In conclusion, everyone must decide this for himself and only himself. You cannot force a person to add someone to the friends in he or she does not want to. Here we should really on common sense and a sense of responsibility for each of us. And thank you so much for your attention. Bye.
Okay, in my opinion, Ila, the question is not right because Facebook is a social network exposes a lot of personal information. For example, pictures, type of religion, politician preference, personal preference, etc. All this information does not need to know because some students don't respect teachers or make offensive comments. But in this pandemic time, I recommend use the group of WhatsApp, group of Telegram, Teams app, because in those apps, there aren't many information exposed. In case of kindergarten until high school, I recommend that only parents have communication with the teachers to avoid misunderstanding. Thank you, that's it.